1. The mysterious delivery. My name is Emily, and I've traversed a path from an unconventional past to a promising future. Once, I was a stripper, a performer who embraced the stage's seductive allure. Those days of captivating men with my moves seemed thrilling, until I met Joshua. He was a breath of fresh air in the midst of a hazy environment, and his genuine warmth made me yearn for something different. As our connection deepened, I made a life-altering decision. The allure of Joshua and the possibility of a more meaningful life led me to leave behind my life as a stripper. The dimly lit club and the sultry routines became a distant memory as I turned my back on the world I had known. Also, I had to hide the fact from him that my customers at the strip joint would like to touch me on my boobs and ass even though there was rules against it during a lap dance. I would really get aroused, and this fact will cause my boyfriend to be very uncomfortable. The only thing I would not miss is the fact that customers would pinch and twist my nipples too hard. But a new challenge presented itself. How would I provide for myself and for the future I envisioned with Joshua? That's when the opportunity to become a UPS driver emerged, promising a remarkable $170,000 annual salary. The figures danced before my eyes, whispering promises of stability and a chance to build a life based on more than just fleeting moments. As a new UPS driver, I approached each assignment with a mix of excitement and nervousness. On this particular night, the GPS led me down a maze of winding roads to an isolated cottage. Clutching the package in my hand, I hesitated before the front door, my breath visible in the chilly air. After a few knocks went unanswered, I decided to take matters into my own hands. The door creaked open slowly, revealing a dimly lit interior that seemed frozen in time. With a resigned sigh, I stepped inside and placed the package just beyond the threshold. As I turned to leave, a bone-chilling sensation crawled up my spine. My heart pounded as a cold, bony hand shot out from the darkness, gripping my arm with a firm, iron hold.
Who let you in my house?
A raspy voice demanded, the words echoing through the air. My heart raced, and my mind raced to find an answer. I am just here to deliver a package from UPS, I stammered, my voice barely above a whisper. The hand released its grip, and I stumbled backward, tripping over my own feet in my haste to escape. Back in my UPS truck, I slammed the door shut and peeled out of there, my thoughts a chaotic jumble of fear and confusion. The allure of a substantial salary dimmed in comparison to the bone-chilling encounter I had just experienced. The memory of that eerie hand and the voice that emanated from the darkness haunted my thoughts, a constant reminder that my new job might bring me face to face with the unexplainable and the terrifying. In the end, I decided to break up with Joshua and returning to become a lustful dance stripper. The thought of the being paid and aroused at the same time was very nice to have. Joshua was heartbroken, but later down the road was happily married to a beautiful wife and 2 kids.
2. The Whispering Warehouse. My name is Alex, a transplant from New England to the vast expanse of Texas, seeking change and a new beginning. The allure of a $170,000 annual salary beckoned me to don the uniform of a UPS driver, leaving behind my old life and embracing the unknown. Little did I realize that my journey would soon descend into a nightmare beyond my imagination. One moonless Texan night, I navigated the sprawling streets, guided by my GPS to an eerie destination, an aging warehouse that seemed to hold secrets in its very bones. As I parked my UPS truck, a chill seeped into my bones, the foreign humidity a stark contrast to the crisp New England air I was used to. Determined, I stepped out and retrieved the package, my breath visible in the dim light. The warehouse stood like a sentinel, its windows broken, and metal doors weathered by time and neglect. Squaring my shoulders, I ventured inside, the air thick with a foreboding energy that clung to me like a second skin. As I ventured deeper into the abyss, the very walls seemed to murmur, a disconcerting symphony that set my nerves on edge. I called out, my voice swallowed by the vastness, met only by eerie silence. But the whispers persisted, growing in intensity, a chorus of voices that danced on the edges of comprehension. Shadows writhed on the walls, and an inexplicable gaze bore into me, sending a shiver down my spine. The package in my grasp seemed to pulse with an otherworldly rhythm, its weight shifting as if aware of the malevolent presence that surrounded me. Heart pounding, I pressed on, the chorus of whispers reaching a fever pitch as I entered a narrow corridor. My steps faltered, dread clawing at my chest as the air thickened with an almost palpable tension. At the end of the corridor, a towering figure materialized, a hulking man with a cowboy hat that cast his features in eerie shadow. Before I could react, a guttural cry erupted from the shadows. A figure, battered and broken, had broken free from confinement. His voice sliced through the air, a desperate plea that ignited primal fear within me.
Run.
Fear propelled me as I hurled the package aside and sprinted, each footfall echoing the pounding of my heart. The sound of pursuit reverberated, a cacophonous symphony of dread that refused to relent. Gasping for air, I burst from the confines of the warehouse, the moonlight a welcome balm against the terror that clung to my skin. Fumbling for my phone, I dialed 911. My voice trembling as I recounted the nightmarish encounter and provided every detail I could recall. The memory of the imposing figure with the cowboy hat and the victim's anguished cry haunted my every thought, a stark reminder that beneath the veneer of routine deliveries, a world of darkness and unspeakable horrors could lurk, waiting to be unearthed.
3. The abandoned package. My name is Emma, and I was once a slave to the digital world as an IT engineer, my days consumed by intricate lines of code and virtual landscapes. The monotony of it all began to gnaw at my soul, pushing me to the brink of disillusionment. In a daring bid to escape the suffocating grip of the screen, I made a life-altering decision: to become a UPS driver, enticed by the siren call of a staggering $170,000 annual salary. Little did I know that this career leap would plunge me into a spine-chilling encounter that would forever shatter my sense of normalcy. It was a day cloaked in an unsettling silence that led me to a quiet suburban neighborhood, where an ancient house loomed at the end of a desolate road. The very air seemed to hold its breath, whispering of secrets long buried beneath layers of dust and decay. Determination masked my unease as I parked my delivery truck and approached the mysterious doorstep. The house exuded an air of malevolence, its time-worn facade adorned with cobwebs that seemed to ripple in the wind. Gathering my resolve, I stood before the door, the weight of the package in my hands a stark contrast to the chill that seeped into my bones. The doorbell's echo yielded only a haunting silence, setting my nerves on edge. With a hesitant breath, I pressed my ear against the door, my senses straining for any hint of movement within. A barely audible whisper, like a distant echo, brushed against my ear.
Leave it, here.
The words seemed to emanate from the very walls, a spectral plea that sent a shiver down my spine. My heart raced as I pulled away from the door, a feeling of dread clutching at my chest. Through a narrow gap, I caught sight of a figure, its shadowy form etched against the dim light within. Hollow eyes met mine, freezing me in place, and an icy grip of fear took hold. Terror rooted me to the spot as the figure's voice, a raspy specter of sound, sliced through the air.
Who let you in my house?
The words hung like a curse, the room's temperature seeming to plummet as the voice reverberated through my very being. My mind raced, desperation urging my stammering reply. I am just here to deliver a package from UPS. The grip on my sanity released as the figure's spectral hand withdrew, and I stumbled backward, my pulse pounding in my ears. Without a second thought, I fled to my UPS truck, the engine roaring to life as I sped away from the cursed house. The allure of a lucrative salary paled in comparison to the abyss of terror that had consumed me. For nights that followed, the memory of those hollow eyes and the ghostly whisper clawed at the edges of my thoughts, a relentless reminder that some doors were best left unopened. The chilling encounter had cast a shadow over my newfound career, a shadow that whispered of a world beyond comprehension, a world where the line between reality and nightmare had been irrevocably blurred.